Wow, cool.
So,
Okay, so I guess we can start with title and lending. Where we start? Lending. Applications and stuff coming in. What are you seeing out there? Any synergy coming up?
I mean, yeah, we're definitely seeing a pickup. It hasn't changed, it hasn't slowed down. Rates have started to come down a little bit. You're seeing that spread between the 10-year treasury and mortgage-backed securities is, you know, when the economy is perceived to be bad, then mortgage-backed securities do well. And as they do well, then interest rates come down a little bit. It's not like they're dropping, but they're coming down, so.
Cool.
And how long does it take to drop the rates when you see the mortgage-backed securities coming down, the 10-year?
Daily. I mean, we see movement daily, you know.
So if they drop, you can immediately see a change in rates?
You can see it. We could see pricing changes throughout the day. Like every lender has typically something called the secondary desk. They're the lock desk, and they're monitoring the markets. They hedge all the pipelines, everything they do. And when they see movement, they sometimes, like bad or good, you know, usually they're slower to react when it's getting better, but when rates are getting worse, they'll lock the rate, say you can't lock a rate right now, we have to wait till the market is done updating, then they'll put the new pricing out. But the other way around is much slower, like they don't do it instantly.
Right.
But you see the movement every day throughout the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have it almost in real time, right?
Oh, real time for sure.
All real time.
Well, because you always see on TV, they're like, oh, you know, 10-year rate moved or whatever, and it went down, and you're like, oh man, I wonder when that's going to affect rates. I'm thinking, you know, is that going to be 24 hours, 48
Well, we're
hours?
seeing it.
You're saying immediately.
Yeah, well, on the mortgage-backed securities, which they don't go in parallel with the 10-year treasury, but they're similar. But let me see if
Right.
so I get an alert on here. I'm just going to show you like the last few days. So today, it'll tell me the change for today on the 6% coupon. There's different coupons that they sell in mortgage-backed securities. So it's only up, it's plus 3 bips. That's not a lot. But yesterday, it was plus 6. The day before that, plus 6. The day before that, 0. The day before that was -1. The day before that, plus 19. So plus 20 the day before that, plus 17 the day before that. So when we see plus changes on the bips on the mortgage-backed securities, that's good for rates. That means they're getting better. So anyway,
Oh, so when it was plus 20, that was good?
that was good.
Oh, wow.
We saw
And so
movement
what's a
with
bip?
Basis points.
Basis
1%
points, okay.
is 100 basis points.
Okay.
But we're not talking about rate, 1% of rate when I say that. That's
Right, right.
the cost or the price of the mortgage-backed security. And as the price of the mortgage-backed security goes up, like they're more in demand, then interest rates come
go
down. Because they don't have to charge as much to get the same return. When the price of the mortgage-backed securities is low, the rates go up because the investors still want a return.
Right.
So anyway, it's more than you want to know.
So we want to see,
No, no, no.
we want you to come in here and go, the bips were plus 20.
Yeah,
You're
oh,
like,
yeah.
yes!
When I say that, you're like, oh, it's going good. Things are heading in the
Right?
right direction.
Yeah.
But I think
yeah.
we're also trying to avoid, I think they want this to come down naturally instead of offering some type of remedy to.
Oh yeah, there's no quantitative easy going on right
This is
now.
going to come down in
Yeah,
its own
it's
natural-
Remember that?
Yes.
When the government was artificially buying these mortgage-backed securities to stabilize the market, that's why the rates went to the 2s. Remember that?
Right.
Yep.
That was all manipulated by the government because they bought trillions of mortgage-backed securities.
And that's why we're here.
Part
Right
of
now,
it.
Right.
It's part of it.
With,
But it was
with
they
high
had to do
prices.
something because that pandemic
mean-
was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. That
yeah.
It made prices go up though.
what made prices go up?
Everybody
Low
bidding
rates.
them up.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
you know what's really made prices go? They've printed 19 trillion in dollars that we didn't have in the last
Oh, yeah.
Right.
2 to 3
That's
years.
exactly right.
That's really the
They
big
could
one.
have sent some my way.
I mean,
I know, why couldn't they
Me
get
too.
$1 million?
It's like, that's
Come
like
on,
19.
19 trillion?
Yeah, that's
19
That could have been $1
trillion.
million
And
per
it no
person.
longer-
that's
the gold standard got
19,000
removed.
billion.
So,
Just waiting on the
crazy.
Doge dividend.
Exactly. Wait for your $5,000. Okay, what about,
It's like it's the same as what Rick just said. I came in and I said I saw a little bit of a uptick in, we're getting a few more refis this week. You know,
Okay.
but it's that slow. It's going to come down naturally.
Refis.
We're seeing a few refis.
Well, you can do a refi right now, but they're not really saving that much.
No.
You
Right.
can get it done. A loan officer's doing those to try to stay alive because they need a paycheck.
So you're telling me
I got
somebody
3 yesterday, so I think that's what.
Three?
Well, and
refis.
somebody who's in a bad loan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, would want.
Well, or just a
Well,
drop
7.5.
They were in the sevens, remember? So now, if you can
6.5 was
refinance
good.
and save a little bit, some people will do it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't try to do that right when the rates come down. That's when you'll see when rates start to come down, all these lenders start getting their license and they jump back in the business and they don't know what they're doing other than they think, oh, well, let's just capitalize on this and make some money when the rates are coming down. And
Maybe I should
we
do
see it
that.
all the time,
That's what I'm
and
doing.
it's bad. It's
You already
really
have your
bad.
license, though.
Yeah.
As soon as
Just
the
test.
rates come down, we should all jump into the mortgage business.
Dual.
Put our license under Rick.
Yeah.
You know, I have a mortgage calculator on my phone.
You're halfway there.
How hard can it be, right? I know what a BIP is.
Now I know what a bit
Now.
is.
Exactly.
I just thought it was gas.
But like my closer said, we'll make some money this month. So things
Yeah.
are going in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Right, okay.
But we try to catch it when it's bottoming out, not when it's just starting to come down.
Right.
Because you don't want them to have to refinance, churn a loan over and over again. There's lenders that will do that,
Right.
especially to veterans, because it's the easiest loan to refinance. Because they only have they have to have the loan. Let's say I buy a house, a VA. I have to make 7 mortgage payments after the first payment due date before I can refinance. All other loans, there's really no cap. They can refinance
Right.
every 2-3 months if they wanted to, right? That's not suggested, but there's lenders out there that will call people and, do it, and then as soon as it drops a little bit more, they call them again. Hey, let's do it again. So they give us a bad name in the industry, but
And people really shouldn't refi unless they're at least saving 1%.
yeah, it depends. Everybody's situation is different.
Uh-huh.
That's the standard, but we've seen people at 3/4 of a point, and if you're paying off some debt that they had that it's killing
Oh,
them.
I
in the
gotcha.
It makes
Oh.
sense sometimes.
Yeah.
They can roll that in.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, or pay it off.
21%
Makes
credit
sense.
cards I want
Right.
to roll in there,
Yes.
might as well.
As long as they change their
Yeah.
habits. Because
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
right.
time, early in my career, I do it, they would just run the credit cards right back up again.
And I have a friend whose boyfriend is a real estate agent. So she asked me all the real estate questions because she's not very smart. But so I looked her up, and she bought her place for $175,000 in 2010. And she owes right now $255,000.
Yeah.
She did, starting in like 2013, she's done 6 or 7 refis in 14 years.
That's exactly what I'm talking
And now
about.
she's upside
And then
down.
she did another one.
Lots of
She
fees.
did another one a year ago to pay off student loans that were at 9%. And I'm going, but you had a low rate on your mortgage, and that 9% is high, but it's not 29% like
No.
your Visa bill,
And half the time they
Right.
get forgiven or just written off. Sorry.
you know.
They
And,
do
and,
over
and
time.
I'm just
I'm not saying
going
I like that, but they do over time.
How
I'm
much was
going-
her student loan interest?
9.
Oh, so it was a wash? Why'd she do that?
No, she actually went up in rate refinancing
Yeah,
to get
she
money
did it.
out
She did
to
it
pay off the
February
9.
of 24.
That makes no
She
That's
did
just
it.
like
No
6 and a
Remember when
half.
people are just
And
thinking
she
about
had
money.
3 and a half.
But a loan
You know,
officer did
that's
that.
how it
A loan
goes.
officer
A
called her
loan officer
probably-
did that for him, seeing
I
all
just
the
Without
stuff.
knowing it.
Can you
Yeah.
believe
That's
that?
so
And
sad.
just to make a
There's so
buck.
many people
Yeah.
like that.
And now I'm going, well, why do you owe so much? And I just think she's her checkbook and goes, well, I must have money because I have 17 checks right here.
You're right. Yeah, that's right.
So, and I'm going, boy, I'm glad your boyfriend's a realtor.
And then when she runs out of money, she refis again. Is what-
I have a
that's her
client like
cash
that.
flow.
Yeah,
You have one?
yeah.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah,
seen it, I'm
he
sure.
just bought his house in 2021, and then he contacted me last year. He was like, "Hey, do you think you can help me sell it?" And he had already refinanced it, and then
Wow.
like, you know what I mean, and had a good rate in 2021,
Yeah.
and now he's stuck at like 6%.
And you have to magically come up with a commission.
Yeah, and the loan
to
amount
sell
went up,
the
and house
And
prices
sell the
went down,
house.
so
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't get you out of it right now, bud.
So
Yeah.
remember what we talked about though, you should have a home equity line of credit. If you have equity in your home, go secure that now while you're able to qualify for it.
Yeah.
I say, you know, because the federal government's laying off positions. You don't work for the federal government, anybody in here?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
course not.
I'm
You know,
overqualified.
you know what I mean? Like, you never know, life changes. Those
Nothing I
people
can talk
probably
about.
thought their jobs were safe as could be, didn't they?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Government
whatever
job.
they're doing, I don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing, but you know what I mean? They thought their jobs were safe. I work for the federal government.
Yeah.
You know, they're not.
Not anymore.
So,
And
Right.
and
Yeah.
the employees have to say whether they can fire them or not, too. Is
Well,
what's
that's-
happening
Right.
out
it's
here.
not any different in the civilian world.
It's
Yeah.
People
Right.
get fired and laid off
All the
all
time.
the time.
Right.
Why is it different for the feds?
if a company
Yeah.
makes this much and then the next year and has bills this much, they're laying people off. It's a no-brainer.
Every
And
single
nobody,
year.
I don't. Oh, it's too bad, but nobody gets their panties in a bunch. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
I wasn't
We've
trying
been-
to talk politics. I was just talking
But yeah,
finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
don't know
true.
what's
But it all
happening.
plays
You know,
into
whatever
We're all
are y'all.
seeing it though.
It all
I mean, it's
plays
true.
But we all see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Has anybody dealt with, I have a situation going on right now where I have two people that have solar panels on their house. And they want me to sell their homes with the solar panels, people taking over the $108
A month.
lease for 20 years and stuff.
Right.
And I've never, every time I've made an offer on one of those, I always say, we will not take over your debt, we will not take over your debt. But has anybody ever ran into somewhere where somebody was able to take on the
Yes.
debt? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
really?
Yeah.
How do you guys-
$108 is not
How do you
not a
push
big
that
deal.
though?
Because it offsets the utilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
I
what?
know,
you mean-
but-
Be like,
but
you'd be
you're
paying-
taking on a
You'd be
20.
paying Colorado Springs Utilities $108 for your electricity, most likely.
It
So
it washes
instead of paying them,
You know, a lot of times
you're
it's a wash.
paying
It's
on
just, hey,
solar.
you're gonna be paying for 20 years before you get the benefit of it.
Okay, but
It's a
it
long
does,
return on those.
it doesn't
Oh,
wash
yeah.
That's
because
why I haven't done it.
if
but
I'm,
it's dumb.
It's
if
like
I
I'm
haven't
By the
dead
time they
before
get
I
it
break
paid
even.
off,
I haven't
their
done
solar
it
equipment's
either.
gonna be so outdated that they're
Right.
gonna have to
And
either
title
go back
would-
and use the
title would
regular
rather it be
utilities or
paid off
update
in
it,
the
upgrade it anyway.
transaction.
If you need a
And
new
then-
roof, they gotta take it all off.
but
you
hold
gotta
on,
pay
wait,
to do
wait,
that.
let's hear what
Yeah.
you.
And a lot of times title would prefer that it's paid off in the transaction so then we can terminate the UCC that's
Okay.
recorded, right?
Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
true, but it doesn't have to.
It doesn't have to.
be.
It's optional.
That's right.
because the
that's
way I
right.
look at it is if a buyer's coming in, if I'm buying a house, and they go, we want you to take on our $30,000 debt, you have 20 years left, and it's only $108 a month, but you save $150 in utilities, let's say, right?
you
Oh, I'm
don't.
saving $40. But I'm not gonna be in this house for 20 years, so there's gonna be a debt that I have to pass on to
It's gotta-
someone.
Right.
Kick the can
Yeah,
down the
the watch
road.
to
Yeah,
do.
and so,
And a lot of
There's
times
got to be
they-
some
they fall
negotiation
through.
there.
oh my
And some of them are leased
Yes.
If I'm in
They're all
versus
leased.
versus
They're all,
finance.
they're all like
Some
Yeah.
are
Yeah, my
finance.
neighbor
Oh,
finance.
summer finance,
his.
some
Some are released.
Yeah,
But
they
even the
all-
lease is a 20-year lease.
Yeah, and they all typically do it through like the UCC recording, so.
That's right.
Okay, so title would want them to be what?
I mean, it's not our call,
Yeah.
you know, of how you negotiate that, but we see both. We see that it gets paid off in the transaction at closing.
Yeah.
Right, and then they move forward, or there's some type of negotiation where there's an assignment of that UCC
Yeah.
or whatever.
And they gotta get approved
Okay.
for it, and it takes,
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a while for that.
'Cause that's
Whoever's
like-
doing that loan, of the solar loan,
Yeah.
they're not quick.
You
'Cause
better
that's
start it as soon
financing
as you
again.
go under contract if your people are gonna inherit that.
Start
Like,
it right then.
And
yeah,
if it's a
because it can
lease,
take
from
3
my
weeks
understanding,
Wait,
to approve
Correct.
them to take over the solar.
So if somebody says, yeah, we'll take over the payments, we have to actually get it transferred to someone else. Oh, that's right.
You have to
because-
qualify.
It's like
to
a
own that
whole
debt.
different.
They have
Yeah.
to qualify with the solar people too.
Yeah.
Whole
It's
different
confusing.
And your
qualification.
lender
Yeah.
has to qualify,
Yeah.
make sure you're okay.
And it
Yes.
could be like a 3-week process to get approval, so you better start on it the
Wow.
minute you
Oh,
go
that's
under
horrific.
contract. If you want.
I have two listings I gotta take. Who's taking them?
I'll take it.
the guy across the
Yeah,
street, the guy across the street has a solar, just put a solar system in about a year ago, and about every 4 months, there's somebody there working on it so
Oh.
far, and it's just barely been in. And I'm like, please, Joe, don't ever sell your house. Because he'll list with me.
Right, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like, if you've had a newly replaced roof that might still be under warranty, right? And you come out and you have solar installed, your shingles, you find out your shingles are defective, you want them to honor that warranty and come out, they're not going to. Putting solar on will void
That's
the
right.
warranty.
That's right.
really.
Yep.
Oh my
On
God.
your roof.
Oh.
So it's a lot to think about before you.
It
do
is.
And have you ever had the
solar.
solar people come to your door and they sit there and go,
All
we're
the
gonna do it."
time.
And I'm sitting there going,
Yeah.
dude,
I
I will
get, like,
never get solar.
5
Why?
a week.
Well, so my
That
my
happened to a client
sellers
of mine.
are like saying, well, Rob, they told me that the realtors would poo-poo this and stuff, and here's the sales stuff that you need to present to all. So the solar people are telling the clients, don't listen to your realtors, don't listen to these people.
course they are.
Give them
Oh,
this
yeah.
package on how to sell it. I
Yeah.
can't sell it.
Well, they told me.
I'm not a solar sales guy.
Yeah.
They told me that it'll increase the value of your home 20%.
They always say that.
And I
Yeah,
said,
they told
Oh
me.
my
just so
Where do
you
I
know,
sign?
I'm a realtor, and that's bull.
That's not.
Yeah,
true.
right, exactly.
So, just
You really
Yeah.
just
be careful on the ice.
I always
Liability.
tell them I don't want to deal with that when I sell my house.
Now they make
Yeah,
good money.
crazy.
I can tell you, I've done loans for these guys that are doing the solar sales.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a big markup on. They're making money.
They
Well,
they
But are
knock
the
on my
people
door at least
that are buying
5
it, are
times a
they
week.
making
No,
any
no,
money?
of course not.
No.
We know that. I'm
Right.
just saying, like,
We
More
know
than 20 years.
we pay.
20 years.
I'm telling my people that, you know, they're gonna lose 30 grand in their equity, because I don't see how people are gonna wanna take this over. I mean, any smart realtor that has a buyer's agent is gonna recommend, don't take this over. Put in there, I will not assume your debt.
So then what
The
happens
people
exactly?
have to sell their home with the stuff on there.
And take
And
it out
pay
of
it
their
off.
profit.
Yeah.
pay it off. Hopefully they have equity.
$30,000.
Yeah, hoping
Can they
have
do it
enough.
as an annuity? I mean, can they do it in payments, or do they have to pay it off at a lump
They
sum?
gotta pay it off at closing, right?
That's,
Oh, so you take
That's
it.
the
This is
preferred.
part
Well,
of the house.
so then
to
it's a
have the
done
room,
deal moving
yeah,
forward, and
to be
it's
like-
actually clean title.
It's
to
a
it.
lien,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
They have
can
a
you
lien on the
imagine, like,
property.
how you're losing money every time you get solar?
So,
Because-
I figured it out, the guy was selling it to me, and I'm like, and I did the math right there with my
Oh, they lie and say it's gonna
mortgage
make your
guy,
home
no.
worth more.
With my calculator, I'm going,
Yeah.
it's, based on what you're telling me, it's gonna take 15 years for for me to break even.
You're right,
So I go
exactly.
To mature.
Why would I do that?
Right.
You know? I mean, 15 years, I probably won't be living here.
There's, what are they, like
Yeah.
30 grand?
Right, and the seller-
Yes,
Yeah.
and then they try to scare
Yeah, I
you,
got a
telling
bunch
you,
of-
oh, rates are gonna go up, your utility bills are gonna be astronomical
True.
in the next, which,
Which is a fact.
it's like, okay, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Colorado Springs Utility, I figured it out the other day, because I'm talking to my father-in-law in California. And I told him, well, you need to leave there, but he's a sailor, so anyway. He goes,
What?
how much is how much does your electricity cost? So I pulled it out, my bill, and Colorado Springs Utilities charges 14 cents a kilowatt hour. In California, it's like 32.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be, I'm sure they jacked the cost up 3 times, right? Or 2.5,
They're
but.
paying more for solar out there than they do here. too,
And,
by the
and,
way.
and there, it's becoming mandatory for new construction.
Right.
But
Solar?
solar. But
So it's built
But
in
I would
cost
be
of
okay with
construction.
that,
with
actually.
that
Yeah,
being
that's
said,
better.
if it was
Right.
in
It's
my
just
house
built into the
already.
solar.
it's like an upgrade.
Yes.
It's like I got a Viking stove and solar, you know?
I mean, the reason why
Yeah,
we
if
pay
it's in
30,000.
the cost of the house
Yeah.
instead of this extra thing.
Right,
Yeah, and
and the
it's a
reason why you
lot.
pay $30,000 is because they gotta install it now or whatnot, but if they're building the house and if the builder's ordering, 5,000 units or
Yeah,
whatever,
it's
that
less.
cost's gonna be 15,000 per.
Less.
And it would go into the house.
But I
I mean,
think-
so I'd be okay with all that, but man.
And it doesn't void the roof warranty either. Because they're
That's
doing it
right,
as.
that's right, they would
But it
figure out a
will,
way to install it.
it
If you
will.
ever get a
Your-
new
that
roof.
roof is good for 2 or 3 years, well, 7's the average, but, and living here, I mean, your insurance is gonna be more expensive. I mean, do these solar panels, can they take on a hailstorm?
Well, So Elon Musk came up with
Enormous
those.
one, but I don't
Uh,
think that softball size.
Those are
now
cool.
is-
Those are
I
incredible.
don't think they can
Shingles
stand
that
up
are
to that.
solar.
We
2008.
saw what happened when he released the Cybertruck. He went to go smash the window. And
Yeah, but I'm
and
talking about the solar thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And I love the Cybertruck. Well.
Yeah. 2018
and
I'm not a
2019,
fan. I don't think, I think it's ugly.
I think it's awesome,
It
man.
looks
I think-
unfinished. It's like a wedge.
I mean,
It's a little unfinished looking. I
the
don't know.
old
Yeah.
school.
Oh,
just the
yeah,
first-
I can
It
imagine.
It reminds me of the
I was in
DeLorean.
Florida
car.
at the time.
Yeah.
Just back here,
True.
my son.
Yeah, that's true.
It broke all the windows on the whole
Yeah,
one side
the
of his
whole
house.
thing was like a massacre. I was like, what's happening here?
Oh, a hailstorm?
Hailstorm
Yeah.
2018 and
That was
2019.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
You know, I mean, so nothing in North South Valley, but everything down south.
Was
Like I said,
bad, yeah.
you know, you come from 5-6 weeks vacation. I was in Europe, and I went. So I need to go concert, get some food, and I walked out. And, oh my God,
We've been
what
bombed.
happened? You know what I mean? All
A bomb?
solar panels was destroyed in Fort
Oh.
and the roofs, and then they repaired, and then 2019 again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was scary.
Oh, back when that happened, yeah, I had a house under contract that we had just replaced the roof on, and then it came through again, and we had to replace it again. 2 roofs within less than a month.
That's
Yeah, but really, did you really have to have a roof at that
Yeah,
in
did
less
you?
than a month?
Who needs a roof?
No, seriously.
It was those bad ones
You
down
know how many
It was
roofs I've been
total.
on?
It
Yeah.
was total.
or that you could
Found
see,
that
you
hit
could see the
yeah.
sun
I live in Fountain.
Yeah.
coming through on a vaulted ceiling. They were going through the roof.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that would be different, but how many of you guys have been on a roof with a bunch of hail damage?
I have.
Yeah.
Okay,
check my
so you
roof.
go out and there's all these little pock marks,
Yes.
right?
But there's
And they have to count. We have to have 9 pock marks per square,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so they're counting them out. But if you really look at them,
They're
it's
not
just the
rental.
granules that just kind of
Exactly.
came off.
Yes.
So how long will that roof last? Will that
Exactly.
roof
20 years.
last another 5 years before it
Absolutely.
leaks?
Well, and
Another
I
10
believe
years?
those roofers that come around to
Well, they
check your house,
Want to make money?
I think that they are partially responsible for the insurance rates going up.
Yeah.
Because they told my neighbor they needed a new roof. And at the time, my husband was and very dear friend of ours has a roofing business, Aqueduct, and they went up on the roof, and he was like, "I don't think
Yeah,
this
see,
needs a new roof. I think it maybe a couple spots could be repaired, and it
Yeah.
would still be under warranty."
storm chasers.
But
Yeah.
they do,
But
and they scare
every
you.
industry is responsible for insurance going up because of the way it is, right? I mean,
And people
from
aren't
health insurance to
climbing up there to
house
go.
insurance,
Yeah.
No one wants to climb up
you
there.
know? Yeah.
It's like an unseen thing to the householder or to the consumer, because they're not climbing up there all the time to look at this stuff.
do
So
look up.
they're just going by the word of the person who's going up
Right,
there.
and what we should do is we should I'll look into this, because
Through,
I've seen 2 roofing companies out there that spray that extra protection over the roof. Have you guys seen
Oh,
that?
yeah, I heard
Or
about
they can do it
that.
after. rejuvenate
So
it.
instead of doing a, $50,000 roof or a $40,000 roof, they can come in for like $3,500 or $4,000.
Spray it.
And they spray it with this extra protection, and it rejuvenates your roof for at least 5 years or more.
Yes.
What
So-
is that? Is it like a rubber coating?
It's like some rubber acrylic
It's like a
something.
clear coat thing.
Yeah,
It's not
and
clear
it shows them
coat,
going like this, and it almost has like granules and stuff. It looks
can
like a
color.
brand new roof.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
colored.
As long as there's no
Oh,
holes.
okay. It's like a, okay,
It's a
yeah,
coating.
coating.
Yeah.
But that might be a thing for us in our objections, because, yeah, I mean, we're constantly going, oh, we gotta call the insurance company, we gotta get a new roof, and this and that.
Well, what I don't know is if
beforehand.
you do that, will the insurance company take that?
That's-
Right.
That's what I don't
yeah.
know. Like, will they say, yep, okay, that's good.
Right,
That's
but
what
it
I-
is technology that people are, so it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
at some point, the insurance people should love those people.
'Cause it's saving
I mean,
money.
it's saving money.
Right.
Edited it.
Exactly.
Sure. I
Yeah.
agree.
But that's not their
That's like
game.
that roof on
It's
Tetman,
to
you
save
know,
money.
when they wanted a new roof on Tetman, and the
Yeah.
roofer went out and they sent me all this stuff, and then I called the roofer and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, I can see where it's hit, but like you were saying, I said the granules are still there. I don't see any black, I don't see any tar, like it hasn't taken it down to that. He goes, yeah, but can you see the dents where it's concave? He was like, your
Who
shingles
cares about
compromised.
dents?
And then USA
They should
came
be
out and
made.
looked at it and said, yeah, we'll replace it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aren't those
Like,
shingles like
Wow.
made to withstand
It's
at
kinda
least some of
crazy.
that?
It's like
They
a-
are.
See, right?
We had soft, I lived down south, we had softball size hail.
It was big
That was
dent.
all
All our skylights
Yeah.
were gone, it was
Yeah.
terrible.
18, 19, 2018, 19.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was
quantitative
driving.
tell.
Driving
Like, okay,
over,
well, how long
it
is
looked
my
like
dinner
down
shingle
Chicago
gonna
Bay
last?
Road.
Right.
It was,
Yes.
it was
And the
that
cars, the windshield.
gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just came from Europe, you know, twice.
So let me ask you guys about metal roofs.
Yes.
And you know, like,
How long does it
Hey,
take
hey,
for it to start?
Or just
Metal
Metal roof.
I was like,
Metal roof, so you see a lot of metal roof in Teller County.
Yeah, so why in the
Because-
world would they be dented and they have to be replaced?
Well, that's just the thing, the metal roof,
It's
in
cosmetic.
Teller County, you don't get a ton of hail,
Right,
right, if any, but there's a certain level that if there's dents and it doesn't impact the purpose of the roof,
The integrity of the
yeah,
metal.
exactly, then they're not
Yeah.
gonna fix it.
yeah,
So that's a risk along the Front Range. It's like your roof is perfectly fine, even though it looks like crap.
right.
So
Yeah.
that's,
And most of the time, if you have a two-story house, who cares if it looks like crap?
you know,
can
You
see
know?
it.
I don't care about what the 747 flying over my house thinks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Or
Google
Google
Maps.
Earth.
Yes, it is.
It's like the construction saying they'll never see it, right? Like people aren't going up there to
So-
look at that stuff.
Yeah, 'cause I have a-
That's funny.
They'll never see it.
How you doing?
it's definitely a question too for the insurance people. What's this gonna look like? Are you guys gonna like my metal roof? Or are you not gonna like my metal roof?
I think they prefer metal,
I would think so.
because they, yeah.
Supposedly, they say those things last somewhere between 20 to 40 years.
Metal roofs?
I have
Well,
one on my house in Florida built in '99. It's the same metal roof.
mhm.
And they get hurricanes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, we've been lucky, you know, that it hasn't blown off. But
They got
They
to
have
spray
them all
paint it
in
or not spray paint it, but paint the retreat the roof
They're more
every now and
durable.
again?
Yeah, could you
Metal
just put
rust.
like a
I've always
rhino
Linoleum.
coat over your metal? You know how they do like
Right,
truck
the
beds?
truck.
A rhino coat right over your metal roof?
Yeah.
Make it look better?
Yeah.
Because those rubber
Seal it?
grommets dry rot.
Yeah,
That's
over
where it
time, Because
happens,
the sun is really hot out there.
Yeah.
obviously, but That's the only thing I've had to do.
Oh
to
man, I put in one metal roof and that was it.
There's a lot of obstacles
Sharp,
right now.
man. Cut
A
the
lot of obstacles to getting people
Yeah.
to where they need to be.
So there is. I had 3 deals fall apart. One of the deals fell apart because of HOA. The HOA billed everybody because the roof and the insurance $3,200 last year special assessment. Every unit on a townhome complex, and then a bunch of people couldn't pay that, so they're having to submit, payment plan type thing. Well, we get the house under contract, and the status letter comes back saying there's a 43% or 23% delinquency, and you can only do loans if there's a 15% delinquency.
Oh, yeah.
So now the entire complex can't have
A sale.
a
lot.
sale. Everybody that's affected,
'Cause they're
the
maxed
people
out.
that are living there don't really care because they're not selling.
Yeah.
It's the 5 people that are selling that are
Right.
screwed right now because
Yeah.
nobody can get a loan. And so what do? You sell your house $30,000 less,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
or $50,000 less to get a cash deal.
Well, some people
And so
don't
then
even
it
have
drives
that liberty,
everybody's prices down, so there's all these hurdles. And I'll talk to you about that a little bit later, because I'm trying to find a lender. I found a portfolio lender that said we would do it, but we want 25% down.
Yeah.
Well, that's not gonna help me either.
It doesn't help.
People that get townhomes don't have 25% down.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of hurdles out there and the buyers are completely in control. Well, that one, the buyer really wanted it. But the other 2, the buyers are just like, we want the water heater replaced. And we're like, no, it's perfectly good. Bye, and they left.
It's almost like they'd have to sell to an investor.
Well, the water heater, like, this was a normal sale. And then
This is
another
one of
one.
the other deals.
Yeah, these other deals.
What was
this
it?
is
Just
one
old?
that was-
Was it just at the end of its life expectancy?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I have one right now over in University Park, and they're like, we want the water heater inspected, we want this, we want that, and I told my guy, dude, you just gotta do it, I'm telling you, you just gotta do it. you gotta keep these buyers, they'll walk
Buyers are
away.
picky.
And they're
They
picky.
can afford to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right
Oh, and
now.
those townhomes, I
There's
saw
more
those
inventory.
numbers
Yes.
last week, that they're not moving either.
All
So-
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so, I mean, who was it that said we gotta do it, was it you to say we gotta do a lot of things, there's a lot of hurdles?
Yeah,
we
there's a
gotta
lot
jump
of
through?
hurdles to get people to
Yeah.
the closing table.
Even if you're a buyer's agent, you can't sit there and go, oh, you should just take this, because they're putting pressure on you, and you don't wanna look like you're trying to get the sale through, even
Right.
though you are, because, the other agent on one of the deals was calling me, she's like, effing mother, you know, she's all upset.
Cussing you out?
No, at the buyer, their
Oh,
buyer,
oh.
because she really wanted it to stay, because she wanted her commission.
Oh, gosh.
And there was nothing she could do. She goes, I'm just venting at you. I can't say
Oh my
that to
God.
my buyers, but I'm just thinking it. And she's telling me, but I'm so sorry, I gotta kill this deal.
Wow.
Oh man.
It's frustrating.
Thank God we're a community here. Huh?
It should have been a florist.
That was the only other option? Is that what we're?
It is, it's just like everything is still.
Well, the thorns.
And as it looks
So-
promising, things are still just kind of going
Yeah.
through the ways.
That's right.
So anybody else have anything like, Matt, crazy? Oh, go ahead.
I have something. I'm not saying that you guys should refer to me, but you should refer to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Suhan's completed transaction she gave me. She was such a terrible person. She just called me every single day. No, she didn't call me at all. But anyway.
Wait, Suhan referred some people to
Yeah.
get, what kind of deal was
So
it?
this was a sublease. It turned out to be a sublease. So somebody that she met, just sort of briefly, who's new to town, and said, "Hey, I need to get a commercial building for my, my new business." And she goes, "Oh, okay. Here's Susan Beidel." So
Yes.
that's how it went. She
Awesome.
was, yeah. So I was gonna, hand it to her. but
That's
she's
a
not here.
commercial sublease.
Yeah, so it was a
Okay,
sublease. So
cool.
yeah, I mean it's it should have been like 3 times more than it ended up being, but she
But you
did-
negotiated down for him.
no, it should have been 3. No, what I mean is it was supposed to be 3 times longer of a lease term,
Oh,
but the sub landlord sort of switched the ball there, threw
Oh,
it,
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, it's all good, it's a few $1,000s to me.
Made the deal.
Yeah. So
Right, it's a deal.
yeah, so I was really appreciative, and I wanted to hand that to her. But
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to give it
she's
to
not
Sonia.
here. Yeah, exactly.
you can give it to her. So that's her copy
Okay, we'll
of
give
the.
it to her,
completed.
sure.
So I really appreciate it. It's pretty easy. That one was really easy, but they're not all easy. But that one was very easy.
And
to
those are
do.
Yeah.
drafted up by like attorneys.
Yeah. So yeah, that was So I did the letter of intent, and I put all the terms in. They signed it, and then they came back and they go, "Yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to do this other stuff now." I'm like, they shouldn't do that, because really it's a good faith sort of document. But I'm sure the brokers went, "Are you crazy? Don't sign." It was a pretty good, LOI that I presented in favor of my client, of course, who was the tenant. But I'm sure their brokers went, "Oh, wait a minute, I know you signed this, but that's way too good of a deal." So they came back and they said, and they can do this, it's just kind of poor form, but they said, "Well, we're not going to go to lease unless we have these changes after the fact." So
Okay.
he was cool with it. So it got done. It was pretty simple.
Do you have a card, sir?
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I've been getting bombarded with scams. I've had 3 scam leads in the last 2 weeks.
Those text messages
Really?
that come through that are like, "Hey,
I got one on Bold Trail
Oh, I've been getting
and
those.
2
Yeah.
Realtor.com that appeared to be Realtor.com, probably wasn't.
Yeah.
And
Realtor.com.
here's the red flag, or red, like, giant flag, is, great, I'm looking for something, blah, 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 blah. Please contact me at this number on WhatsApp.
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And so I did some Googling, and here's the scam. They are gonna want to do something with Bitcoin, and to do that,
Trade children.
we need to, me, needs to get an account so I can transfer funds or something, and then they take my account and they go start doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too
Does
much.
Title allow
Absolutely
Bitcoin
not.
transfers?
No.
I didn't
Not,
think so.
it's not there yet. There are
Shouldn't.
things starting to happen where there are title supposed title companies
Yeah.
who are recording on the blockchain.
There's one that I
But
have.
it's not. But it's not like it's not a industry accepted.
How does that
way.
look? The recording on the blockchain. How does that look? Because
We don't know
it can
yet.
change. Okay.
We don't know yet.
I mean-
Well, because what it does is it takes a group of computers and stores a little bit of information on each one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they all have to come together to be true, to be a true transaction, right? So
For that moment. Because the fluctuations are like moment to moment potentially. I mean,
Yeah.
so how do you lock in
we don't
a
know
value?
yet. It's
Okay.
it's still
That's
in the
interesting.
work. They
Usually
say
it's
that
an
we're about
estimate within a week.
7 to 10 years out from that.
Oh,
that
okay.
whole-
Darn.
Well, now-
I'll learn about it then.
But now-
Me too.
Me too, on the fly.
But title companies are accepting egg futures.
Yeah, right.
Well, you know,
Didn't you see my post?
Oh yes, I,
I put
did.
one on Facebook. It's like, yeah, the whole refrigerator is full of eggs. It was like, Linder says,
Proof
do you
of
have
funds."
proof of funds? And they sent a picture of their refrigerator full of eggs.
That's funny. I love it.
That's
You
fun.
see Charles D'Alessio, we're gonna have to paint potatoes this year for Easter.
So, like, do you know, I'm curious about HOA stuff, right? Like, with us being so water wise now, it's like, even if your HOA has landscaping rules, that's kind of tossed out the window. They can't tell you that you can't xeriscape and so on and so forth. Like, does anybody know about, like, internet? Like, the satellite, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I think my HOA is like, oh, if you want to go with, like, Dish TV or Dish Network or whatever, you have to put that in an inconspicuous
Right.
spot on your house, right? Well, now Starlink's out there, but Starlink has to go like on the north side of your house. So if you don't have an inconspicuous spot on the north side of your house where that can get signal, like,
I
Is the
thought that
HOA
went
gonna
to-
ding you?
yeah,
Usually-
like, can they
years
tell
and
you
years
that
ago,
you
I
have to
thought
take
they
it down or
said
you have to get
you
rid
have
of
a
it?
right because
Yeah.
the airwaves are
Well, and it's
public
weird because you'll see it on
access.
some of these
So I
condos
don't
where they
think
have
they can tell you
multiples
that.
because they've used different
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
the
and it
old
becomes-
one never
that you
takes
can
the old
get-
one down.
Yeah, and it becomes
Right.
an eyesore.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any
So-
service provider.
That's
not
why they
just
have
one.
the
Yeah, I think it went to the Supreme
Yeah.
Court
Yeah.
back in like the
Wait,
Keep it.
90s.
what went through the Supreme Court?
The whole, you can't put a satellite dish up, and they said, well, the airwaves are public domain. FCC rules that, and it went to the courts, and they said, even though you're in a townhome or a condo with an HOA, you can put it where you need to.
So
And
I
you
was
can
the
fix it
president of an
permanently.
HOA, bunch of townhomes, Sunstone, down south. And that, a long time ago, like in 2004, you know, we didn't allow dishes, but all the big dish, you know, like you said,
Uh-huh.
network things, and people were just putting them all over the place. So the HOA had to come up with a approved spot, right? Because the buildings were set different things, and so this building was facing north, and so you had to put on this side, and that was approved, and then on this building, it was approved
Like for
this
each
way.
unit?
Each unit, but we wanted it to look uniform, so, like you said, there's not 3 or 4 dishes all over the place, because that would look like India, you know, all the wires everywhere,
Yeah.
you know? and
Buenos
so-
Or
Aires.
Mexico. Yeah, Chicago, you see it, it's like,
Right, all the wires.
all those dishes are crazy.
You know,
I'm
so you
asking
want-
for my personal situation, you know what I mean? Because I'm on a corner lot.
I want you to test
You
out
can
the
see
HOA.
the whole
Okay.
north roof line of my house,
But they
like
put it
from
on
the
the
street.
roof.
But I can't put the dish
So
on
your-
the
your
east side
house
or the
goes
west
like
side or the
this.
south side. I've got to put it where it's going to be visible.
Do you have a fence around your yard? I'm just curious.
Yeah, 6-foot privacy fence.
In the back.
Mhm.
Where's the north side? Is it on the front or the back? Or the side? Where's
The
your
side. So like,
So it'd be under the behind
so like
the
this
fence?
is my lot,
Yeah.
and I'm on the corner. So my
Yeah.
house is here,
Yeah.
and the north roof line is here. So like,
You don't have to put it on a roof line. You know,
I
mine is
put
on the
mine on a
ground.
pedestal
And I've seen
once.
people do it into their
Yeah, you can put
cement
it- yeah.
walls
Like on
too,
a-
like or
Yeah.
whatever.
And
have
they'll
to put it
do
on the
it
roof.
for you.
I would try it on the ground, just test it out.
Uh-huh.
See if you get a signal. If you do, you're good.
You can, and let me
You
tell
can't
you,
even see
so
it.
mine's on my
Starling's pretty
roof,
darn good.
so when it snows, it gets all packed up, and all of a sudden I have no service during the storm. And I really wanna watch TV, and so, I don't know how to get on the roof I'm up there with a broom and I'm trying to.
I've done that, I've
But
done
it's
that.
so high, so if it's on the ground, hey, I can just go sweep
right.
that
You
up.
just do it
So-
around. They can't see it.
yeah.
On a fence or something like that.
Yeah, just-
No, on the ground.
Starlink
literally
is
on the
awesome.
ground.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe I'll just see them in a
Just
post
need
and
to get-
just
They
They
Right.
do it for you.
I
They
kind of
do
want
it
to put it on
for
the
you,
ground because I
Heather.
got dogs. and-
Heather,
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Put a post
they're
in
gonna do
there.
for
They'll
you
do it for you. They'll put it
on the ground.
Really?
Yes, I had it.
Or on a post.
I had the same
Starlink?
problem.
Starlink?
They'll sync a post.
I had the same
Thought it
problem.
was
I come from
self-serve.
Europe. We
Uh-huh.
don't have HOA. There's no
Starlink's
such
so
thing in
new.
Europe or anywhere
Wow.
else. HOA. They're only in America. I don't know. We bought a house, first time
Wow.
home, 2012. And my husband has to, like satellite dish and all that stuff, right? 2012. And everybody's so picky in my neighborhood. Everybody has a new house. I'm better than you, whatever. So the guy came and he's like, the HOA doesn't allow the roof. I said, put it in the freaking backyard. Nobody's gonna see it. They have a
That's
fence.
what we did.
Yeah,
And
right.
he really did.
Yeah.
You put it in the backyard, like a little farther down, where you can better, connection away
Yeah.
from home. The house does not kind of block it. And test everything, and they will go in the backyard.
Put a little
They put it-
birdhouse on it, they won't
You just
never
call,
know.
Yeah.
call
So
Starlink
tell them
directly.
you don't want it on the
and
building.
say,
Anyone.
You want
I
to
would
put
check,
it
yeah,
Does
check
it.
with.
freestanding,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
they'll
I think
do it. They
Starlink
did it
is
for me.
but is
Probably-
it Starlink or is it just like another third
I don't
party
know. It looked
installation
like a 12
company?
years, 12
Ours
years
was-
ago.
Yeah.
Do you have
Ours was
Starlink?
Xfinity.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
see,
Big
the-
City or whatever. We
That's
always had
different.
an
See, then
ground.
Starlink
is
is,
self-serve.
and it's brand new
Oh.
technology.
They send it to
so-
you and you do it.
Yeah,
How
so
big is the
they'll make
dish?
you-
Does anybody know?
I think it's just a
It's
box.
big.
It's
It's
like a
square.
Yeah,
box.
it's
Square.
a
It's
little
small.
rectangle that's about
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
long and about this
okay,
wide.
Not
okay.
that big at all.
It's
Because
not-
I have it, and I have it just sitting in my window right now, but it's not getting the best signal. It says it's like 86% misaligned, but I mean, it's still enough to work. And I haven't canceled
How much
Comcast
does it
yet as a
cost?
backup.
I'm on the FCC
120 a month.
website.
Okay.
It was like 300 to get the equipment, and then it's 120 a month.
Okay, so I have okay.
And
So
it says you can.
And that's probably the way
We're here to
you
share
can put
information.
that.
Alright, so-
Anywhere.
Wait,
that's-
okay, hold
You have
on.
a
So
single
my-
family house, right?
so
Yeah.
So you can put it anywhere on your property that's exclusive to you,
yeah, on your property.
period. It's under the OTARD rule.
Yeah,
The OTARD rule.
yeah.
Okay.
It is.
That's really
Usually
interesting.
goes to the.
Yeah, it's like I got
I'm
it
gonna
in,
leave that
and
one
then I'm
there.
like, oh crap, what
I'm
do I
not
do?
saying
I was like, that's the
That's
worst
retarded.
spot.
Yeah.
Okay, like, I don't have any holes drilled on that side of the
So-
house to
so
get
this
the
is-
wire inside. I don't have anything.
So
Like,
this is for the TV channel. I mean, I'm just stupid question.
Yeah, that's
for the
what mine
internet.
was.
Mine's for the internet.
Mine was for everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because my Comcast
But-
went up to like $185 a month, and I was like, y'all are
Oh my God, I know,
insane.
mine
I'm
shut up
done.
too for the
Is that for internet and
much
cable?
internet? So much internet.
Internet
I
and
paid
cable?
$300 a
Yeah.
month in Florida for just the internet and the basic channels. Like it's
Yeah, it's
it's
crazy.
that panhandle.
Wow.
It's
Okay,
rural.
so here's the
Big
thing.
bucks.
My husband was in Kuwait. I don't turn TV on. We have 12 TVs in the house. He
How
went to-
many?
4.
Oh, well,
My husband.
12,
okay? So my husband went to Kuwait. I turn off the cable because I
Yeah,
like
you can
reading.
turn it off.
I like reading. You know what I mean? If I want something, I take a disc back then when he was. So he came back and started working for NORAD. So here's the thing. I'm gonna share everything with you guys. There is a cable, the disc for $20 from I think Google from Walmart, and I can hook you all for this. Okay. Those guys from NORAD, they know how to do all that. To the internet, you get all the channels for $220 a year. Who is in? I could not believe.
It's probably on a little stick.
You'll have to
Fire
take a
stick.
picture.
No
Yeah,
fire
is it
stick. No
jailbroken?
fire stick. No fire
Yeah.
stick. No fire stick.
Ours went up.
There's
And it's
just
not
really inter-
YouTube TV.
No.
Second?
It's not YouTube TV.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
my son came
I can give
a
you
couple
my
months
address.
ago
You
and
can
he
come
had
to my house
something.
and I can turn it
Yeah,
on. You can look.
everything.
Every, like.
take a
each-
picture of it for
I
us.
will.
You gotta
I
let us
will.
know.
You got some takers.
Oh,
No, HBO. Every HBO is there. Okay.
What?
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lifetime.
This sounds illegal.
Lifetime.
You know what? I think
movies
it
in
is
a
Homer,
cinema,
but they haven't been
Brand new
busted yet.
movies. I watch on my living room seat.
I'm signing up.
What?
Send it to me.
I am not making the
So I
shit
can
up.
cancel all my streaming services.
Everything is there. Only what I pay is Netflix because I love Netflix.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
They're like what, $10, $12 a month? This is like nothing.
Now it's like 19.
$79.99. It's going up.
Okay,
Yeah.
but before,
That's great.
So I went. My husband came home and he was like, "Write me the list, everything we pay, because every app you pay here, pay this, pay this." It turned
Yeah.
out to be $300 a month.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's-
And he's like, he looked at me and he was like, "Okay, if you really want your purse, that's what he told me. So we can save this $300 a month, and I'll give you this." And it's like, that shit ain't gonna work. I didn't believe it. Okay.
But it does.
But
It
it does.
Is the picture nice and clear?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shh,
Everything.
You need to hook us up, girl.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
right.
You know what I mean?
Next week,
It's
bring
like
a
a,
picture.
it's like a,
Ridiculous
it's like
anymore.
a cable, you know what I mean? Like a box, like from Walmart, 19 bucks.
What's it
Okay.
called?
What's it
Do you
called?
know?
What kind of box is it?
I can text him and ask him.
Yeah.
There's like an app, you know,
He
you go
won't
on
get a
it,
text in NORAD though.
you click on, no, it's not, nothing to do with NORAD, it's just the people that work in NORAD.
Yeah.
They're so,
They developed
They
that.
know about
no,
it.
but they know all these tricks.
Oh.
And then like the internet, we got a fiber optic internet now. That's a really good one. If you
Yeah.
ever get this in your street, fiber optic, you know what I mean? That's the best internet we had. It's
That's
cheap
what we
too.
had just now.
It is.
What company?
They just
Is it what company?
Xfinity.
Oh.
My bill
Yeah,
went up
sorry.
so
we all
like
have
150
I have
for just internet.
I have
Yo.
some. I got
New
a
Mine
fiber
went up to
optic
185,
antenna.
and then I
It
started
was-
getting emails
Quantum.
saying that
Ting or
you've
Ting or
already
something.
used 90% of your
And then
data, and I'm like, I'm
Quantum's gonna be
supposed to
coming
be
to your
unlimited.
neighborhood.
Yeah. I was
Quantum-
like,
Quantum
no, I'm
is,
not dealing with
I
that
think
anymore.
I think we've
Crap.
got like a 60 bucks.
CenturyLink.
But ours
Is it?
is
Yeah, it's
still
all-
new.
They're the
They're
same.
still
Mine
building.
I'm tired
started
of people
at
coming to my
like
door and
$64,
trying to sell me stuff,
and
so I
now
just
it's
don't do
well, mine
anything
is
except the door with
$60
people anymore.
and
Oh,
then
we're
we
just
have
trying
These
to-
kids come up.
Yeah, I'll do that
$60
with the
on
kids.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a
Yeah, with the kids.
Wow.
And we have some that'll come.
Yeah.
No,
We've
it's
got
all day,
realtors
all
that
night
come
long.
door to door.
Okay?
to
I
talk
have
to you.
now the realtors have never come to my
laptop,
door.
husband,
They're like,
always
that's
on
that
television.
Rory
No
title
problem.
guy.
No problem.
Nice.
And then I have those boxes.
Title
You get like a three boxes, and
Well, that
you
was
just
worth
turn
the
it on,
meeting
you
right
just watch
there.
everything.
Right?
So that was where
And I
the
don't have to
meeting
pay
right
for
there.
the
Exactly.
cable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
I-
one
There's
less house
so
you gotta
much. There's
sell.
so much
I,
going on
I
right
will.
now.
I will find. I
Do
will.
you
It's
ever have
almost
one of those
overload.
boxes for each of your two?
And it, like,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
almost
It's like
all the
19
markets. I think
bucks.
even like the Dow is
And you
down.
have
Like,
it.
they're all
and,
just
you know,
kind
and
of.
then
Yeah, but
$220 to
It
pay the
is,
contract.
yeah.
Things are gonna
like a
come back. I
contract.
just,
Yes.
people
Well,
are freaked out, but
You have
Yeah.
a friend here.
It has to
Uncle
go
does
down
all
before it
that.
comes
You know
back.
what I mean?
yes,
From
it was gonna
East
come
Coast.
down anyway. Yeah.
So you
It'll
just
go
give
back.
you like a
But
code.
what I'm
And
amazed
you
is
plug
that
in, make a
all
account
these
with that,
roundtables,
and
every
you have a
single week,
remote comes with a wide remote
we have-
with
there's
that,
so
and
much
there you
stuff
are. You
going
can
on in a
transfer the one
week
remote
Yes.
that
for the
we literally
television and
have
everything.
new stuff to
Everything
talk
does
about.
that.
It's
And
ridiculous
there's
how
like
much
an
is
app. I'm
going
gonna
on,
take a
how
picture and I'm
fast
gonna
everything's going.
email him.
Yeah, well, and
So-
everything is
Like
playing
an
into
app,
everything
click on
too, so
app,
all the situations
Channels
affect
from
everything
Canada,
over here
from United
too.
States,
so-
Right.
Europe,
You know, it's-
everything is there.
That's
Yeah.
why
So
I'm
you have
asking
to
you
pay
guys every
20
single week, you know,
Basically,
what's
like
your job
the
like, 'cause that
200 or
affects
whatever
us.
for each
I
one
mean,
of
it
your
gives us-
boxes every
No.
year. No.
It gives
No.
us
Oh, okay.
knowledge
All right.
on,
It's one
because,
account.
you know, we
One
need
account.
you to do a
That's
million
pretty good.
loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just
So
20 bucks
we
for
know
each
buyers
box.
are
Yeah.
coming
You
here.
just pay.
What's
Yeah.
the
And
catch?
then
Right.
we
Yeah.
have
It's
a
kind of
a listing, we
It's
need
just
you to
people
get a
know.
million,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Orders, yeah, so you
Orders
know
so
things
that
are
we
working.
know
It's
things
just
are
like
selling,
me.
right?
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It
We're
doesn't
the
do anything at
intermediaries
work, let me
between
tell
the
you.
two.
Okay? You
Nationally,
have a
there wasn't
CNN on
New home
television,
sales big time.
watching huge
Yes, I
screen.
saw that
We've
too.
been there
National,
once.
national,
Only
new
when
new
he
home
works
sales.
and all the
Like new
places
construction, they're
they turn
down.
everything down
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can't
They're
see
way
it. You know what I mean?
down.
Like
Yeah.
a tour, right?
They're trying to
All
get
right.
those houses
And then
away.
just sit
Yeah,
there,
they're
everybody
trying.
has this little
You
You can get
desk,
some killer
do
deals if you're
whatever
in the
they
market, I
do
think.
to run and talk. And
Not in
this,
the market.
As
you know,
long as
they
you're
know
not
people.
in the high
just
tax
know.
area.
Yeah, it's cool.
They
Right,
watch
right, right.
So I'll take
Okay,
care of
so
that.
Nerds.
how about
They're nerds,
builders?
You know what I mean?
Builders, we used to give us well, they used to give us 4%, then they're giving 1%, you know, like 5 years ago.
I will get them.
Now I'm getting calls from builders going, we'll give you 4%.
Yes. Yes.
And we're the only builder giving you 4%. So that he's doing a
4%
a
off what?
contract.
I was like 5%.
He's doing a contract with Russ Acuff. Russ Acuff is back in the business. Can
Wow.
you believe
Acuff
that?
Homes?
Yeah, can you believe, he's building a single, like a fourplex type thing.
Ah.
He's starting from scratch again.
Wow.
He's like, I'm dealing with this dude named Russ Acuff. He's a builder. And I asked him what kind of commission he paid. And he said, well, why don't you just negotiate in the contract with me, right? I said, you tell him 4%. man. You tell
Absolutely.
Russ
Right.
Acuff 4.
Yeah.
so he can
And he
do
went
it.
for it? Did he
Yeah,
go for
because
it?
Yeah.
Oakwood is
Uh,
offering 4%.
Yeah, I'm
too.
hoping he is because it's an $850,000 town.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
A townhome, you better sneak and pay
Wow.
4%.
Where is it
You
located
better be
at?
Well,
burning
just,
incense in your home.
they're, you know, I mean,
It's like off the
sell
Bijou
one of
exit,
their
kind of like
houses,
a.
they
Ah,
get
they give it
commission.
to you.
Like
Yeah.
right
Chestnut
Commission is
Street.
flat.
Okay, right off to the
There's
right,
a-
okay.
Was
West.
Oh,
I
one
got you.
Oh, yeah.
That
there's
neighborhood
a-
is
Wait,
$500,000
hold on.
residential.
What were you guys?
Yeah,
That's
well,
crazy.
Yeah, 3% and $5,000 for the house because they have so many homes, just the new homes. They're just empty there, and they're costing too much to have maintaining with
Yes.
the electricity. And they just give it to the realtors to open house for them. I have a contact, and I did it, but I did it when it was really snow and I didn't want to get out of the house. But I'm gonna do it again. So I'm Covington Homes. Yeah, they just want.
So he's gonna tell us about Russ Acuff. What were you saying? Did you already put it in? Has he accepted it?
We haven't put it in yet. We're going to this weekend to throw the offer in and get the contract started.
Okay. That's interesting. And if you guys don't know who Russ Acuff was, man,
I don't know.
Acuff Homes
Yeah,
were
that's
huge
like before my time.
They were good.
until the crash. Yeah.
Didn't
I'm not quite.
Cindy Singer do stuff with him? Acuff Homes?
I don't know.
I think she did.
Yeah, but we had an agent in here
That's a nice little baby.
that was an interior designer, and
That's like
she made Russ
salary,
Acuff
right?
cry on the closing table. Literally tears out of his eyes.
Good year for you, man.
He had something else
Be a
going
nice
on.
start.
Yeah.
Brenda.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Never mind, I take it back.
you know she can make people cry.
Yeah, she made it.
But she was an interior designer, so she would go in and go.
Some has like
She knew everything about construction. Hey, these walls are wrong, or this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this foundation's wrong, right?
And it's non.
And he kept finding stuff that was wrong, so he had to keep fixing and fixing and fixing. And something happened at the table, and he was literally, she said he was literally crying, he had tears coming out of his eyes.
Oh, wow.
She goes, I made Russ Acuff cry.
She should not be.
I cry at closings all the time.
Those are tears of joy.
You pay $300 just all
All
the
right.
apps.
Anything else? Oh, I want to share with you guys real quick.
I
I think it's almost
Oh,
time.
I want to share something too.
Okay, you share real quick.
Well,
Scott.
you can go ahead because I got to pull it up on TV.
Okay, so this right here, I went to the cardiologist, right, to get some testing on my heart or whatever. And they did like EKGs and everything. And I don't have insurance, right? So I'm like, how much is it going to cost me? Well, I get the bill, and I told him I'm uninsured, I have to pay cash, also like that. So it's $728.
Later. Oh, man.
Discounted, like $600 some. So I had to pay $85.60.
What, for
Not bad.
EKG?
It's
Look at that,
cheaper
dude.
than insurance.
Look at that.
It's cheaper than your copay.
Uninsured discount.
Wow.
It's like
So-
the
What
insurance
if you aren't
gives
sure?
them
Can I tell
the
them I'm not
ability to
insured?
charge you more.
Well, the reason why I'm telling you
Wait.
this is
I thought we would
because
get fined if we didn't have insurance, right? Aren't-
Not
no.
anymore.
Wasn't that the
The
whole-
Medical insurance?
Right.
Yeah,
They
medical
removed the
insurance.
mandate like
They-
in
not anymore.
2016.
Oh, so I
So-
can be
That was
uninsured.
Obama,
so the
right?
reason why
Yeah.
Obama did that.
the
Obama
reason why I'm
loaded it.
sharing this, you guys, is because we're talking about insurance and how the industry is just like insurance
Ridiculous.
is ridiculous, and they're charging us so much. Well, I've had insurance all my life because, or not all my life, but since Chris was a teacher, we had it through the school district. But when she retired, we don't have insurance. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get MediShare, and I'll just go out and I'll pay. So I started shopping doctors and shopping different things. And I'm going, oh my goodness, $85. My copay would have been $50
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started shopping with my medications, like if they're giving me a medication. One was like $6.90 for 90 days. Well, I would have paid a $25 copay.
Through your insurance,
right?
yeah.
So these insurance companies, why in the hell are they paying $728?
They're not.
Okay,
They're
but
not. So here's what
that's
happens.
crazy.
Well, the providers.
They're charging-
$85 for an EKG.
Well,
and all
they make
kinds
a
of stuff.
contract
They charge
with
the
each
feds the
insurance
rest of it.
company.
So
It's
here-
contracted amount.
a few years ago, I had like 3 years where I had my own parking spot at the hospital, right? And each year on my breakdown from the insurance company, it was always around $350,000 to $400,000 amount billed to the insurance company. Okay, but the actual amount paid
That's
was
true.
like $130,000.
You're right.
So that first number is bull. I don't know quite. Just
I don't
tell
even
me
know
what,
why they're allowed to
tell
do
me what
that.
it's worth. I'm thinking it's a tax shelter for the for the medical community. Hey, I'm gonna charge this guy,
$700.
$85,000. It was $85,000 for 8 weeks of radiation, and the insurance company had to pay like $17,000.
Because that's their contract.
So what's 85? You
How
know,
long
They
did
get
you
to write off the difference.
so they must
Yeah.
And charge the
There's
hiring?
gotta
How long
be
were you at
something
that
going
office?
on.
Like
They
that?
have a
I was
reasonable
at
and
that office
customary.
probably, I don't know, 30
they have to
minutes in
use
the
for
room.
billing.
You
And
talked
then
to
they
the front desk
can only
person, right?
build
Yeah.
back.
Did you have a medical
like
assistant
7
come
or
in and
something
in the
like
tech
that
or no?
above Medicaid.
Medical assistant
So
took your,
that's how
vitals,
it's sort of
and
a
then
structure
the
they
PA
adhere
comes
to.
in.
Right.
So they're not just
Assistant.
arbitrarily
And then
making
the
Spends
up
like 10 minutes with
Who
you.
costs.
did your EKG?
It's just
that
like
PA?
I don't really
Uh,
understand
It's
what they
probably
do.
some kind of
There's a
algorithm.
formula.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah,
but it's
formula.
kind of
And then she
reproducible.
read
You
it.
can
So
you
3
can verify
people.
it, but it's
What do you
it's
think they
still
make
a
per hour,
scam
those people?
as far as
Right.
I'm concerned.
Just think
Right.
about it.
50
Just think
bucks,
about it.
60 bucks?
Like that PA makes a lot of money,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then
They make
like
Yes.
and you paid 85 bucks. It didn't even cover those
The
3
people that were
Right,
there.
I'm
Right.
just blown away. I was blown away. I'm
So
just
they-
realizing what a scam
They make up
insurance
the
has been for
difference
me for all of my
somehow.
life.
Oh, this-
But
Well,
with that
They
being
have-
said,
because they have to pay people.
if I didn't
Right.
have that insurance, that $375,000,
Would have been way less.
it would have been. I wouldn't have to pay $375, but I would have had to pay $150.
Well, let me tell you what I did.
Right.
You guys ever heard of MediShare?
I've heard of
Yes.
But they don't
So-
do pre-existing condition.
Well, as long as you don't bill them for 2 years on pre-existing conditions.
Which doesn't do you any good if you're going.
Right, so, but anyway, MediShare is basically, we pay all your bills, you pay us $400 a month. I mean, you get to pick your, whatever you want. But I picked, I'll pay up to $12,000 to medical if I need
Uh-huh.
to, right? And then they will pick up the rest of the bills, and it's just a collective amount of people
Yeah.
that are
Yeah,
paying their
I saw
$400 a month, or whatever, and so then we just pay each other's bills. But it causes a guy like me to go out and shop. I'm calling doctors and different people, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it for X, I'll do it for X. I'm like, wow, why can't we get back to this?
Right?
Yeah.
Medical's
but-
way up here, you know?
Yes.
It's like
We're
so
18
stupid.
years
And
old.
What
if I
happens
get-
if you're in a car accident and they ship
I
you
paid
off to the?
$12,000.
You pay 12,000.
Right, because that's
Even
that's
if that
that's like my
hospital bill is
self-proclaimed
like a
deductible that I gave
$400,000
myself.
hospital bill.
What?
I said even if that's like a $400,000
Yeah,
hospital
if it's
bill. you
$3
pay
million.
12 grand. Yeah.
Yeah, they got millions of people paying into this.
So
It's like a big
Because
co-op.
Literally, every year.
Basically.
That's
Huh?
exactly what
Every
it is.
year,
It's a big-
$12,000 then.
No, just for your
I pay $400 a month for me and my wife.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
the 12,000,
Who here does the Obamacare, the Connect for Health Colorado? Anybody?
I do.
I do. That's my only choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have, now you have to be careful not to make too much money. And I forget what the threshold is. But my wife cuts hair, so she has a bunch of write-offs. I sell real estate, I have a bunch of write-offs. If our income is below a certain level, and it's adjusted gross income, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but we get a tax credit. And it is, so last year, $133 a month is what we paid
For insurance.
for insurance.
Before or
Really?
after the credit?
That's after the credit.
After.
I was paying
Now.
$295
That's my
a
husband.
month
If I go over
My husband
by a
works.
penny,
for both of
It
us.
changes.
I have to pay on tax day,
All that.
I have to pay everything, but it's not anymore. But let's say you're paying your full premium,
My
and
husband,
you
yeah.
go under, you don't get anything back. So we claim it every year. In some years we have to pay it, some years we don't.
Yeah.
And this
The
year,
whole thing.
Have to pay
They're
back what?
correcting
Pay
that
back
now.
the credit.
Everything-
Yeah.
so
I
let's
mean-
say it's 1,500. Let's just make an even number. Let's just
Yeah.
say it's
Yeah.
$1,000 a month, okay? And
credit.
so that's $12,000 a year,
Yeah.
and you pay $200. So let's say you would have had to have paid $11,000 out of pocket for the year, and you go above the threshold, then on tax day, you've got
Below
your
that.
income taxes, and then you've got to
You pay the
repay the
difference.
tax credit.
Yeah.
But you're not penalized.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for us, it's worth it
Yeah, I
See,
mean,
we
for
went
realtors,
under,
have all
we
these
went
different-
under this
we don't
year
have a lot of
last year.
options.
We went way under.
So that
Alright,
meant